Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off, give all honor, glory, infinite praise, and worship to our power, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostle, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who rule well, teach well, and sound doctrine, and strong. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children, right, who the Lord will have mercy on in these perilous meaning dangerous times that we're currently living in and currently approaching. All right, it's your brother Kadash, representing GMS branch here at Cleveland, Lord willing, to bring out an edifying lesson. And inspiration comes from the Elder Yashawama's lesson from earlier. I watched it earlier, and I'm finally able to get around to it. I see Apostle Tahar responded to it as well. And this caught my eye, man. You know, this is the prophecies is true. You know, the prophecies is true. And not only are the prophecies are true, we understand that the prophecies are true. But also a part of that importance is that the men that speak on these prophecies, that relay the message, that convey the message, that break down the message, right, in its glorious essence, right, and its proper and the correct wholeness and 100% truth, 100% doctrine, we understand that this is a thing on the earth, right? This exists. This is real. You have holy men on the earth who are able to understand these things in its totality, right? Inspiration, meaning breathe in. The Lord breathed into certain men the true understanding, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be able to convey the things that were hidden aforetime. Prime example, the decoding of the words and the names of America in the Bible. It goes by many names: Assyria, Babylon, Nineveh, Egypt, right? Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Rome, right? It goes into many names, right? And many breakdowns of America in the Bible dealing with the little horn, right? All right, it's so many names that America go by that the prophets have given you through the spirit and power of YAHWASHI, the understanding on. And here you have, like Elder Yashua was going into, you have Elawn Musk. Now, this guy is a prominent figure in what's to take place in the new world. I did a lesson probably a couple of days ago, probably sometime last week, I don't know, regarding this guy, Elawn Musk, man, you know. And I'm going to just read this real quick. It says, America was founded to be the true successor of ancient Rome. It says, but most don't know how deep the parallels run, from its grid plans to its constitution. Here's why we still live in Rome and why it won't collapse this time. See, and that's what I wanted to do a lesson on through the spirit and power of YAHWASHI. It says, here's why we still live in Rome and why it won't collapse this time. Okay. Contrary to popular belief, you have an end, Esau. Because the Romans were Edomites. Okay. They were, in fact, Edomites. Not all the Roman rulers were Edomites, because you had Nerva and you have many Jake Israelites who were prominent in Rome. But the Romans who identified themselves in a particular sense of the dominance, right? When you go into the factual information according to history, particular men like the Caesars and and so forth, these men were Edomites, man. Their lineage go back to the biblical Edomite. You understand? So you can understand. So it says it says, here's why we still live in Rome and why it won't collapse this time. Okay. I typed in Psalms 49 and 11. And I'm gonna read this in the KJV first, and then I'm going to read this in a couple other versions. It says in the KJV, Psalms 49 and 11, their inward thought is, right? This is what they've tricked and deceived the people to believe. And some of them have somehow convinced themselves to believe this. If you constantly state something over and over and over again that's not true, but you constantly live by it, eventually it starts to become reality. And especially when things are resulting from it, and then eventually you forget that it was actually all a lie. You got a lot of small hats that really think they're Israelites, that think they're Jews. You got a lot of different things. You got people in the world that believe that they're black, that they believe that they're white, and so forth. These social constructs have been constantly repeated to the point that you believe it. And that's what happened with Esau to an extent. The elites know what's going on with the upper echelon, right? But the lower, they don't have no clue. They believe the system in which it's set up in terms of in which constructed their mind. Now, in the KJV, Psalms 49:11, it says, their inward thought is, what's their inward thought? That their houses shall continue forever. A house is an abode. A house is a dwelling place. A house is a place of rest. Okay? So they, in their mind, they think that, that they built up their house, and they think that their rest is going to continue forever. See, this is Esau's rest, and he's not even resting. This is his heaven. Heaven goes into rulership, dominion, okay, prosperity, all right, long-lasting life. That's supposed to be rest. When it's your kingdom, you're supposed to be at peace and rest. You're not supposed to be at war and different things as such. Esau has been at war out of 250 years, 247 of those years. That's why Trump announced the semi, what is it? The semi damn, let me see, let me think. Here you go. Trump to celebrate, I typed it in, semi-quincentennial. See? Semi-quincentennial, right? So they're get ready to celebrate. When you break it down, it goes into a half, right? And they're getting ready to celebrate what? He's trying to celebrate 250 years of existence, if you will, because the average kingdom lasts for about 250 years, and he's trying to celebrate it in a sense to say that this kingdom was the only kingdom to last past that period, which is why Elon Musk is saying what he's saying, man. Here's why we still live in Rome. Here's why we still live in Rome and why it won't collapse this time. So he's thinking that this is going to continue past his due date that the Lord has set for it, man. That's the pride of this devil. So Psalms 49:11, their inward thought is, right, their spirit, that it says that their houses shall continue forever. Let's go into this word, continue. Continue. Maintain, sustain, forward, onward, preserve, right? An uninterrupted succession. He think that YAHAWASHI is not going to intercept or interrupt his plan, man. Lord said what? In Job 5:12, it says, let's start 11, to set up on high those that are low. Let's start at 10. You gotta really jump up. Let's just go straight to the point at 12. Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. You see, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. See? So the Lord is coming to disappoint your plans, man. He's coming to disappoint your plans. You see? It says, let's read it in NLT. Job 5:12, he frustrates the plans of schemers so the work of their hands will not succeed. And Esau is a schemer, right? It says the bread of the needy is their life in Sirach 34. And he took away our living. Therefore, it says he's a what? A blood shedder, right? How? It says popular plots and persuasions, right? He has schemes and schisms, right? Psalms of, what, that 55, I believe, about the smooth as butter and war was in his heart. A scheme. Let's see, one more. Let's see what scheme says. Let's see. It says the plan of action devised to attain some end. Right. So it says Job 5:12, he frustrates the plans of schemers. A plan of action devised to attain some end. He's doing these different things in scenarios who will eventually obtain an end. That's what the merger man with technology is all about, forming his way and his concept of what life should exist, how it should be. He give you his fruits and vegetables. He give you his concept of thought, the counsel of the wicked, right? The advice of the wicked, right? He give you his clothes that you should wear, his mind that you should have, right? What you should eat, how you should deal with relationships, how relationships should be, right? Who you should serve, right? So forth and so forth, right? What you have access to and what you don't have access to. Okay, it says scheme, a plot or plan. It says schemer. Why wouldn't it just come up, right? Schemer. It said, oh, come on now. Let's see. Let's try it again. A contrived plotter. It says a framer of a system or doctrine. You see? A framer of a system or doctrine. So it says, Job 5:12, he frustrates the plans of schemers, right? Those who what? Plot and frame for a framer of a system. He's trying to blame the ministry. That's the system that he's trying to frame. So the Lord, by his new world order, is set up to blame the righteous way of living, in which the ways of YAHAWASHI, that's the righteous way of living, in which we uphold. You see, he frustrates the plans of the schemers, the ones who are clean contrary, the ones who are a contriver plotter, the ones who are what? A framer of a system or a doctrine. And this system comes from the heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. This system, the tabernacle, the priesthood, the commandments, law, statutes, commandments, the concept of life, right? All is what's going on in the heavens. The praise and honor and glory and infinite praise and worship to YAHAWASHI. That's all going on in the heaven. Talking about the 24 elders. These things that we do here on earth is what's going on in the heavens at a greater level. This devil, it says, he frustrates the plans of It says this is talking about the Lord. He frustrates the plans of schemers, right? Esau is the schemer, so the work of their hands will not succeed. Now you go into this word enterprise. It says Tushia.
Strong's H 8454. Tushia.
I don't know if you can hear that, but it says wisdom, sound knowledge, success, sound or efficient wisdom, abiding success, sound or afflict wisdom, abiding success of the effect of sound wisdom. Talking about his enterprise, his wisdom, right? Because scripture says his wisdom is not wisdom at all, right? It says It says, jumping down to the Strong's definition, his purpose, right? His understanding, his works. So the Lord is about to stop his works. See that? So going back to Psalms 49. No, Job 5 and 12. Well, no. That's right. Psalms 49 and 11. It says, their inward thought is that their houses should continue forever, and their dwelling place says to all generations. They called their lands after their own names. And the scripture told us about removing the landmarks. He took, he coveted another man's territory or land, and he moved the landmark that identified that land with that man, and he set up his own stead, man. He set up his own landmark. Now let's jump up to it says to the NIV, the New International Version. Their tombs will remain their houses forever. The scriptures say, let me get it. Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yet also because he transgressive. No, that started 4. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, righteous. But the just shall live by faith. And he's not just, and he doesn't have faith, right? Or he wouldn't have gave up his birthright, even though we knew it was prophesied too. But just hypothetically speaking, if he was a man of faith, he wouldn't have gave up his birthright, because he said he was about to perish because he had no food. But if he would have had faith, the Lord would have fed him. See, he has no faith. He can't have faith. He's the spirit. He's the vessel created for destruction, right? He was the vessel created for dishonor, right? So Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgresses about one, his philosophies, his doctrines. He is a proud man, and this is lifting him up. The scripture talking about knowledge lifteth up or puffeth up. His extension of his existence has puffed him up. You see, his doctrines and his philosophies and things that he created has puffed him up because he got others to convert. He got the world to comply to his way of thinking. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, right? Who enlargeth his desires hell, right? We understand he's a vagabond and a fugitive. He's on the run. He created these false identities to hide himself. You see, this showing you that this is the serpent in the garden, because that's what Adam and Eve did. They hid themselves amongst the trees, the other nations, to try to hide from the spirit of the Lord, which are the prophets in that time that was inquiring, right, of certain things that took place unto Adam and Eve, right? And they hid themselves amongst the people. And this is Esau. He's on the run. He's a vagabond and a fugitive, right? He committed the first murder on the earth, and he's on the run. He's on the run. He's trying to run from judgment. It says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. He is as death. You see? And cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all the nations, and heapeth to him all people. You see? It says, shall not all these take up the parable against him, and taunting proverb against him, and say, woe, death and destruction, to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. See, this devil has had a period of time where he's actually possessed relics and ancient artifacts and in a way of life from ancient holy men, right? And possessed it as if it was his. You understand? And this is how he's continuing to move. And when you're going back to Psalms 49:11, it says, their tombs will remain their houses forever. So he is as death, right? The Lord say the wicked was created for the day of evil. He is the wicked. Job 9:24. You see? He's the devil or the deceiver or the what? The enemy or the evil one or the wicked that the Bible speaks of. So Psalms 49:11, their tombs will remain their houses forever. So it don't matter what you do, your destiny or your fate is still the same outcome. When you look up the term Project Looking Glass, they brought in their wizard, and this was the only scenario after that point. He said that their end was still the same. You see, their end was still the same, and we understand that. When you go to 2nd Esdras 6 and 7, it says, then answer I, right, which is Ezra or Esdras, right, talking to the angel Uriel. He said, then answer I, where they was having a conversation. It says, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, right, the first dominion, the first kingdom on earth, and the beginning of it that followeth? You see, Esau was set up as he had a blessing as well from Isaac, who was YAHWASHI, if you can understand or receive it. He blessed Esau also as well, because that was his son. Just like Ishmael received the blessing, right? But it's not the blessing. It's not the promises. It's not the things that pertain to immortality. It's not the things that pertain, the holy things, the things that matter. They all got blessed with carnal means, man. Okay? Esau was promised the fatness of the earth just like Jacob. But his was going to come to an end because Jacob's was attached to the immortal, the immortal estate. You understand? Jacob's blessing was attached to the immortal estate. His blessing was attached unto YAHWASHI's essence, man. YAHWAH's essence, not Esau. One made the honor, one made the dishonor. One vessel made the honor, vessel made the dishonor. Romans 9, right? He said, not the children not doing any good, right? It's for the will of the Lord to go forth, man. Why these things had to play it like it did. Now it says 2 Esdras 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Right? When this thing is gonna take a shift or turn, or when shall be the end of the first dominion? Heaven means rulership. It could be a kingdom, right? The highest status of a kingdom. This is his heaven. He can do what he will, right? Which makes you incorruptible. But this is his bed. This is his light. You know, this is his domain for a moment. It says, right? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, right? And it's going back to Genesis 25. When Esau and Jacob were born, Esau came out first for the sake of prophecy, and Jacob came out second, symbolizing the fact that him grabbing of the heel was symbolizing what we're prophesying now, the downfall or the pulling down of his system, of his supremacist, his Caucasian supremacist structure. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see? So Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So he's going to remain. Death or the grave is always going to be his destiny. Okay, Psalms 49:11. Their tombs will remain their houses forever, their dwellings for endless generations, though they had named lands after themselves. It doesn't matter, right? YAHWASHI, that's YAHWASHI. Even though they named land, the whole America is based off an Edomite. Africa, all these different continents, the names they have now is based off what the Edomite thought they should be. You see? But the Lord is coming to apply what? Nuclear judgment and righteousness unto these different land masses, or mainly here in America, right? Though they named these lands after themselves, their dwellings for endless generations is the tomb. It doesn't matter what you do, Esau. Your end is still the same. It says in the NLT, the grave is their eternal home, where they will stay forever. They may name their estates after themselves. It doesn't matter that you named your estate after yourselves. When you go to that same verse, not that same verse, but Obadiah in the NLT, going straight to the point, the title says, Edom destroyed, Israel restored. Right? You got to be destroyed in order for us to be completely, wholly restored, receiving those new bodies, etc. But I'm going to just read this one verse. Obadiah 1:18. Obadiah 1:18. The people of Israel will be a raging fire, and Edom a field of dry stubble. The descendants of Joseph will be a flame roaring across the field, devouring everything. there will be no survivors in Edom. I, the Lord, have spoken it. And that's what we just read, man. You know, that's what we just read. Their grave is their eternal home, right? Your eternal home is not being in power ever again, man. Because we see that you destroyed the earth and you hurt the earth when you were in power, showing you don't have the ways of life in you, or else life will continue, or life will be abundant. Now, so it says the inward thought is that their houses should continue forever. And we know, like the scriptures say in Hebrews, oh yeah, throughout the HAQADASH, Hebrews 13:14, because it says, for here we have no continual city, but we seek one to come. So in his mind, he think his city, right? Because America is a big city, right? Where you get the word citizen from. Everyone in America is known as a citizen because the whole state from east to west, north to south is considered a city. Matter of fact, what's that? Revelations. It says 10th part. Let's just get there for edification. Revelation 11:3. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. So it's showing you that the city, so America is known as one big city. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the Most High, the YAHAWAH of heaven. You see, so Revelations is telling you that this place is known as one gigantic city, man. Okay? So we have no continual city here. This place can't continue to live, man. You know? It says, and why it won't collapse this time. And why it won't collapse this time? Because they're thinking that what? By their new technology, Novus Ordo Seclorum, did Elon Musk make a mega death reference after Donald Trump's win? Right? So he's New World of Ages. That's what it means in Latin. Okay? Well, and we know that what the scriptures say, man. The scriptures say this place has matter of fact, the Lord told us he has an expected end. Jacob is Esau's the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it. Our follower. Jacob has to fulfill his lot in the prophecy, just like Esau do, man. You see? I forgot where I was about to go. You know, so what is it? Let me go to this video. I forgot what precept I was about to go to. RAWCHAA come back. Let's see. I'm gonna go to a particular point. Hopefully you can hear it.
The latest breakthroughs. Turns out one of the biggest discoveries is actually this tiny. See how small that is? This little chip may be the next big thing, and it sounds like it's right from a sci-fi movie, but people all over the world are implanting these into their wrists. So I asked my producer, Dean, to find out more about this cutting-edge technology and what it could mean for your health.
Whether it's our smartphones, our watches, our fitness trackers, or...
And as he has here, Sirach 12.
Let's see. So basically, man, you know, this is what's going on. There's a particular point. It's all good. wanted to play, but it's all good. Yeah, and this is Esau's mind. And it makes sense that Trump is Nero and he's doing what he's did in the Roman Empire. Matter of fact, let me show you. So like here it says, because one article, you find different things, but one article I saw that it said that Nero was in the process of building Rome, when these things was taking place, right? But let's see what Wicked Snakepedia says. Sometimes you gotta chew the meat to spit out the bone. It says the Great Fire of Rome began in 18th July 64 AD. The fire started in the merchant shops around Rome's Chariot Stadium, Circus Maximus. After 6 days, the fire was brought under control, but before the damage could be assessed, it says what I want is why don't they pull it up? It says here, Nero, you can see right here, it says Nero was motivated to destroy the city so he would be able to bypass the Senate and rebuild Rome, right, in his image. Rumor has it that Nero started the fire, right? So, and he blamed it on the ones who, the Hamashiachim, the ones who are the believers of Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, right, the Christians in that time. Right, but it says motivated to destroy the city so he would be able to bypass the Senate and rebuild Rome. And this is what the new age, the new new order of the ages is about. And Elon Musk is on Trump's cabinet, man. It says, and why it won't collapse this time, because they have technology on their side this time, and they didn't have that before. You understand? But the scripture says what? In Malachi, I start at the top. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord Yahawah. Yet ye say, wherein has thy loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said Yahawah? Yet I love Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains, right, his governments, and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. The Lord is coming to do away with the concept or the thinking process or the think tanks of an Edomite. All right, and he's going to lay it waste, desolate, for the creatures to the doleful creatures to dwell here. Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished. Right, when they were pushed into the mountains, like, nigga, we impoverished. That's what they was talking amongst themselves. But we will return and build the desolate places. This has always been his mind, to continue to build, right? But he don't do it himself, because remember the scriptures say he when he tilled the ground, it should not yield forth its strength. So he had to put us in a servitude state to build his kingdom up. He's not going to. He can't do it himself. He need Israel to do it. Just like every nation. Every time we were in captivity, those nations flourished the best at any time in their reign. Egypt, Babylon, we were in captivity. Syria. Whenever Israel was held captive at a particular time, those nations flourished in agriculture, right? In production, in wisdom, right? So forth. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but Malachi 1:4, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of armies, Lord of hosts, meaning Lord of armies, Yahweh Tazabawath. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, to start an end to the concept of wickedness, darkness, and the people against whom Yahawah shall have an indignation, righteous anger forever. You see? So the Lord said, they shall build, but I will throw down. So what is this guy talking about? And here's why, and why it won't collapse this time. See? The Lord told us it was going to collapse. He said there's no healing for America, man, because this place is taking a beating. It's already been collapsing since the prophets came on the scene. It started the decline of Esau. Matter of fact, when he launched his satellite in the air, that started his decline. You know, once the internet became global, and once the internet became prominent, it started the decline of the Edomite, man. Right? This Jeremiah 51:8, Babylon is suddenly fought and destroyed. How for her? Take balm, which is a healing ointment for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. And let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So ain't no healing for Babylon. Ain't no healing. She up. Ain't no healing for Babylon. You see? Ain't nothing you can do. And there was another one I was about to get. His brother said America will fall like Rome. That's the spirit. See? See? Brother GMS Samak Ephraim 77 Ba. America will fall like Rome, and that's the scripture. Yes, it's going to fall like Rome. You see? Scripture's talking about the beast hating the whore, man. The whore is Babylon the Great, which is like Elon Musk said. Like Elon Musk stated, as we prophets been stating, here's why we still live in Rome and why it won't collapse this time. See, signifying that this is Rome 2.0. This is Roman revised. You have something called Romance Flicks. You have the Super Bowl in Roman numerals, right? Etc. Etc. Play this. Hopefully you can hear it.
Tonight, I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. You know about that? I didn't know you know so much. Well, New Hampshire, very smart people. Very current. You know what they're doing. Such a currency would give a federal government, our federal government, the absolute control over your money. They could take your money, you wouldn't even know it was gone. This would be a dangerous threat to freedom, and I will stop it from coming. Tonight, I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. You know?
Right. So he out of one side of his mouth, he's against the NWO. All right, but again, they're boasting in the NWO. Okay? And we always go into that. But again, right. Yeah, Musk is he's big time NWO. All right, remember, I believe last year or some years ago, he showed up at this gala event, which is a Satanist, all right, fashion show where they do all kind of rituals and wickedness. But he showed up with an outfit bearing the phrase "Novus Ordo Seclorum." Hell no.
Elon Musk's outfit was more traditional than his previous Met Gala outing, 2018. At one, he wore a priestly getup with a white jacket, bearing the phrase "Novus Ordo Seclorum," right? The New World Order, or the new order of the ages, which is found on the dollar bill. New Order of the Ages, which is found on your dollar bill. There you go. Yeah, man. So Rome will collapse. Rome is going to collapse as promised. Right? The Lord said you will build, but the Lord will throw down. That's a promise. You see, you have an end and we have a beginning. That's the promise. A part of the promise. Lord willing, this quick lesson was edifying to give all honor, glory, and praise and worship to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honor to our apostle, elders, and bishops, great millstone, peace, citation, hopefully. Hey, till next time, shalom.